Good morning, IE Sports Radio fans, or good afternoon, depending on what side of the United States you are listening to my show now. It is live. It is a beautiful Wednesday, and it is the WrestleMania edition of the premier professional wrestling podcast on the premier sports broadcasting network, the IE Wrestling Show of IE Sports Radio. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another new edition. You know it, you hear my voice, and I am absolutely live right now on Spreaker. If you're listening on the download later on one of our many platforms, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you're listening on YouTube, thank you. Hit a like, a share, a subscribe. Show your boy some love if you love what I do, and I hope you are highly entertained by today's episode. It is WrestleMania week! Man, guys, ever since this past Monday night on Raw, I have been hyped. I have not settled down. I am running on just little minuscule tiny minutes of sleep because I am that excited for the biggest wrestling weekend of the year. It is WrestleMania nights 1 and 2, WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday, coming up live Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th, live from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Not only that, we've got some other awesome things going on during WrestleMania weekend. Of course, we have the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024 live right after the go-home show for SmackDown this coming Friday at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then on the eve, on the same day as WrestleMania Saturday, we have the NXT's biggest Stand and Deliver in its history. NXT Stand and Deliver live from the Wells Fargo Center to kick off the Saturday's events at a special start time of 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about all that, guys. Excuse me. Shout out to everyone in the chat room. Shout out to Taryn Rodriguez, Marcus Losgray, and Jen B. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the love you've shown my show. Thank you for hitting the likes and shares for my show. I hope I get a big turnout today. If I don't, it doesn't matter because I do this show for the love and the passion and to entertain the people who do tune in on a regular basis. You are the ones that keep me sitting here talking about my passion for professional wrestling. And before I continue, please follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. That's at IE Wrestling Show. Please follow IE Sports Radio at IE Sports Radio on the X. Check out our awesome website, iesportsradio.com. You can join for free. And if you want to throw some shekels our way because you like what we do, please go to our shop and order yourself a shirt, a hat, whatever you desire, and just show your support for the IE Sports Radio family. And again, check out our awesome official sponsor, PlanetJerky.net. If you love 100% beef brisket, beef jerky, this is the jerky for you. Go to planetjerky.net and order yourself some. Get a whole bunch. Get ready for WrestleMania weekend. Start getting your appetizers, start getting your meats together, start grilling, because it is time. It's a big, this is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, guys. I'm getting the fajitas, I'm getting the tortillas ready, I am getting all that set up for this coming Saturday and Sunday. I got the cervezas, they're chilling already. Me and my father and some buddies are going to get together, and we are going to have a fucking blast this weekend, just doing all things wrestling, things that I've been doing since I was a little kid, just hanging out with good friends and family and enjoying the best professional wrestling on the planet. Yeah, all you AEW diehards out there, I hope you're crying about that. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Get 30 bags minimum. Marcus. Yeah, probably. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Go to planetjerky.net, guys, and order yourself some delicious 100% beef brisket beef jerky. Planetjerky.net. Planet Jerky. This jerky's on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. And stick around, guys. I know I'm super hyped, but I'm also hyped for the rest of today's awesome schedule that we have for IE Sports Radio. After my show, check out the Carolina Cast at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern. After that, we got Spaced Out Sports at 6 p.m. Eastern. Then we got the East Coast Red and Gold at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, we have the Bayou Bulletin at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we cap off the evening with Heart of Texas Sports with It's Drewski at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central. What a stacked Wednesday we have tonight, guys. Before I get into everything wrestling, because I do want to focus on WrestleMania in general for today, since we are in the middle, literally in the middle of WrestleMania week, as I sit here with my undisputed WWE Championship by my side. If you saw my little video on the X, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And remember, I am the premier professional wrestling podcast host on IE Sports Radio and throughout the internet. And please, do yourself a favor and acknowledge me. Yep, I had to quote a great man on that. If you haven't checked that out, Roman Reigns had an awesome 2-hour A&E biography that was done on him that premiered this past weekend on A&E. If you haven't checked it out, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's actually really, really well done. Very, very well done. It gets emotional at times, especially when they talk about his late brother, Matt on Hawaii, better known to us wrestling fans as Rosie, during his time in the WWE. Roman really gets into a lot of personal stuff, especially about his battle with leukemia, and it really shows a different side of the tribal chief, so check it out if you haven't done so. Also, grab some extra Kleenex if you haven't already, and if you subscribe to Peacock, please check out Becoming Immortal, the Bray Wyatt documentary that premiered on April 1st on Peacock. It was so well done. It's over it's a 2-hour documentary as well, narrated by the dead man himself, the WWE Hall of Famer, The Undertaker. It was just a well done documentary, just a nice little highlight, and I want to say, like, I don't want to say a final send off, but a nice little send off for Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, who we lost unexpectedly last year. In the summer of 2023, at the very, very, very young age of 36 years of age. Me and him are actually born the same year. When I saw what year he was born in 1987. It's just crazy to think that, I mean, God blesses us. Every day that we wake up is a blessing, and every day we get to go to sleep is a blessing, and every day we get to rise again is a blessing, especially after this Easter weekend. Whatever your faith beliefs are, if you believe, if you don't, whatever it is, it's a blessing to just be able to wake up every morning and be here with your loved ones and be here with your friends and the ones that you really care about. Don't ever take that for granted, guys. But yeah, you should definitely check out the documentary of both Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. And I feel like it'd be a detriment for me to not mention the crazy internet breaking interview that CM Punk did on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. Man, and it wasn't even the whole episode. It was just a decent portion of his episode where CM Punk was a guest on the show, and Punk did not pull any punches. Punk was completely 100% open, the best he could be, about the situations that took place during his time in All Elite Wrestling, and he said some stuff that really stirred up a lot of resentment and a lot of the AEW neckbeards crawling out of their mother's basements to defend their fearless leader, Tony Khan, and their favorite wrestling promotion, All Elite Wrestling. And it was just, it was like all the bullshit that had been coming out about Punk, it definitely was just that. It was just absolute and utter gutter trash. Because Punk was very articulate in his answers, very articulate in his speaking about the situations. I know a lot of people were kind of griping about what he said about the situation with Jack Perry at All In. I mean, the thing that I took away most from that was Punk going to Tony Khan like he should, because Tony Khan is the quote-unquote boss of AEW. You know, he's the guy that runs the company, and said, are you going to handle that, or am I going to have to handle it? Because if I'm going to be the one to handle it, you're not going to like how I handle it. And Tony Khan looks at him apparently and goes like, what do you want me to do? You know, like, and Punk was right in his assessment for calling Tony Khan a fucking clown. You know, after the whole thing that went down with Jack Perry, after Jack Perry was being disrespectful to a legend in this business like CM Punk, and getting himself choked out like he should for being a total ass. You know, he went to Tony Khan and said, this place is a fucking joke. You're a clown. I quit. So, cap off to CM Punk. We'll talk more about that next week, because I really want to focus on WrestleMania for this episode and all the things going on this weekend with WrestleMania. But man, it was a great interview. If you haven't seen it, you could check out the MMA Hour on YouTube. Ariel Helwani is such a great host. The way he, you know, it just seems like a conversation between two people. You know what I mean? The way he does these interviews, and that's what it came off as with his conversation with CM Punk. So I would say check it out. It's very well done. You can find snippets all over X, because since it came out, it's been like this crazy thing. You know what I mean? Like all these AEW wrestlers trying to do damage control. Fucking Sammy Guevara's dumbass and a couple other underlings of AEW on the roster were tweeting, you know, stupid shit like, oh, AEW saved my love for wrestling. Hashtag thank you, AEW. But then you got a bunch of funny-ass people account like saying CM Punk, you know, sharing a picture of CM Punk's return from Survivor Series in Chicago last November, saying like, without Jack Perry and Tony Khan being complete dipshits, this wouldn't have happened. So thank you, AEW, or hashtag AEW. You know what I mean? Like it. Oh man, you just have to check it out. So man, guys, WrestleMania is here. WrestleMania week is here. This past Monday on Raw. If you did not see it, what a go home show! 13th record, 13th sold out television taping for WWE. And it was a record-breaking gate in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. And man, did all the stars come out for that event. Drew McIntyre was on the show. The final boss, The Rock, was in attendance. The Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, was in attendance. Seth freaking Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion, was in attendance. The women's world champion, Rhea Ripley, the number one contender, Becky Lynch, was in attendance. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, made a triumphant return at the end of the show during the Bloodline Rules match between Seth Rollins and Solo Sikoa. The Rock came out and he got physical with Rollins and Rhodes. Rollins and Rhodes nearly put The Rock through a table before Roman Reigns came out to save his cousin. And it became a bloodline beatdown of Rollins and Rhodes. And both men were getting smacked over and over again, whipped like a couple of government mules. Shout out to good old JR. With a Cody Rhodes weightlifting belt. Shout out to Larry B, the head honcho of iSports Sports Radio, is now in the chat room. Welcome, sir. I'm glad you didn't miss the WrestleMania edition of my show. Thank you for tuning in, sir. But man, guys, the way that everything went down on WrestleMania, the go-home show of Monday Night Raw for WrestleMania, has got me hyped for the go-home show for SmackDown this coming Friday. So I actually got a little bit to talk about on that. We have some matches already announced for that show. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is going to be taking place once again on the Go Home show for SmackDown. And some of the participants that have already been announced for that that I saw on the little image that they put on the show last week whenever they announced it was I saw Chad Gable is going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I saw that I think Omos is going to be in the match. Who else is going to be in the match? Bronson Reed. A lot of the guys that are left off the WrestleMania card itself are going to be thrown into that match. Ricochet is going to be in that match. Ivar is going to be in that match. And those are the few that stand out for me anyway, as far as like those are the people that have been announced for that match. Jey Uso has got a big match scheduled for Friday on SmackDown when Jey Uso takes on his little brother, the silent assassin of the bloodline, Solo Sikoa. Jey Uso may not make it to WrestleMania Saturday for his match against his twin brother Jimmy Uso, but we will find out how things happen. How things go down at the Go Home show for Friday Night SmackDown. Also, I believe we have I'm trying to think, is there a women's match scheduled for that? Let me see here. I'm trying to find the matches that are scheduled for that. Oh, here we go. We're going to get a new edition of the Kevin Owens talk show, the KO show, where he's going to be hosting his friend and fellow opponent for WrestleMania, the Viper Randy Orton, because those two guys are in a triple threat match against Logan Paul for the United States Championship. Also, the LWO Zelina Vega will have a match to go one-on-one with Legado de Fantasma's Elektra Lopez. That's going to be a nice match between the two ladies of the two feuding Latino groups. Also, in tag team action, we're going to see the New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, take on A-Town Downtown, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, just before they enter the six-pack ladder match for the WWE Tag Team titles, as both teams qualified last Friday night on SmackDown for their spots in that match. So SmackDown is pretty stacked. You got to believe that the Tribal Chief, the final boss, Cody and Seth will also be making an appearance on the Go Home episode of SmackDown in Philly, because right after SmackDown goes off the air on Fox, you have to be a subscriber on Peacock because you don't want to miss the induction ceremony for the 2024 class of the WWE Hall of Fame. That's right, guys, the Hall of Fame class of 2024. And these are the participants, or the inductees, excuse me, I said participants, the inductees to the WWE class of 2024 Hall of Fame. That's going to be coming to you live immediately after the broadcast of the Go Home show for WrestleMania, the Friday Night SmackDown Go Home show. So, these are the inductees for WWE's 2024 class of the Hall of Fame. For the celebrity inductee, of course, he is a posthumous inductee, a three-time world heavyweight boxing champion, an Olympic gold medalist, competed in the War of the Worlds against Antonio Inoki, a match dubbed by the WWE as MMA's first big fight. He was a special guest referee in the WrestleMania 1 main event, and he was a guest of honor in the Collision in Korea event that took place with WCW and New Japan Pro Wrestling going over to North Korea to perform for the dignitaries and the crowd, or the people that live there. A very controversial event that's never been released on video. But there's a nice little documentary about that. If you watch Dark Side of the Ring, they dedicated a whole entire episode to that event that took place in North Korea. This man he floats like a butterfly, he stings like a bee. He is arguably the greatest boxer in history. I know Marcus Losgreat, you gotta be with me on this one. You gotta agree. The man, the myth, the legend, Muhammad Ali! That's right, Muhammad Ali will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame Celebrity Wing, and I think this is long overdue for Muhammad Ali to be inducted into the Celebrity Wing of the WWE Hall of Fame, especially with his contributions to the world of professional wrestling over the years, and especially being such an integral part of the very first WrestleMania. It just makes sense, especially with the whole... and I love that it's going to be in Philly with the, you got the distant veil of the Rocky / Creed franchise kind of hovering over the city of Philadelphia with, Sly Stallone apparently being tapped to do something with WWE for this upcoming weekend. I haven't heard anything about that since I first talked about it a few weeks ago, but I would love to see maybe Sly Stallone do the intro to WrestleMania. Hell, maybe even Michael B. Jordan and Sly Stallone do it together. Who knows? But Muhammad Ali being inducted into the WWE Celebrity Wing Hall of Fame, and the person that will be inducting and receiving his induction into the Hall of Fame will be Muhammad Ali's wife, Lonnie Ali, will be receiving his induction on her husband's behalf. And as far as a group, the only group induction is a former two-time WWF Tag Team Champions. These two men made a name for themselves back in the late 70s, early 80s as the U.S. Express, Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. Barry Windham will now be a two-time Hall of Fame inductee, as he was previously inducted in 2012 as a member of the Four Horsemen. Mike Rotunda, this will be his first induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. He also wrestled under the name Erwin R. Shyster, known as IRS. He is a former three-time NWA World Television Champion, a one-time NWA World Tag Team Champion, a three-time WWF Tag Team Champion, and a 1994 Slammy Award winner. Mike Rotunda, of course, is the father of the late, great Bray Wyatt, and Barry Windham is the uncle of the late, great Bray Wyatt. These two men going into the Hall of Fame together as the tag team known as the U.S. Express. And it doesn't say who will be inducting them. They haven't announced that yet. I can imagine it would be maybe one of the other children. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Bo Dallas, Bray's brother, that inducts his father and his uncle into the Hall of Fame together. Just announced this past Monday on Raw in a very touching video that was released on X that almost made me tear up and cry. God, man, wrestling can be so emotional sometimes. We have a posthumous inductee, one of wrestling's first female promoters. She ran Polynesian Pro Wrestling, PPW, a territory of the National Wrestling Alliance in Hawaii in the mid-1980s. Her promotion ran a show called Polynesian Pacific Pro Wrestling on the Financial News Network. She was she put on one of the biggest shows ever in Hawaii wrestling history. She is the grandmother of the final boss, The Rock, going into the Hall of Fame to finally have her place alongside her husband, The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief, Peter Maivia. Leah Maivia will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame by her grandson, the People's Champ, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, will be inducting his late grandmother, Leah Maivia, into the WWE Hall of Fame. Very well-deserved, very long overdue for her to take her place alongside her husband, the High Chief Peter Maivia, who was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame many years ago. I believe that was in 2008 or 2009, I believe. It was the same year that Rock's father, Rocky Johnson, Soul Man Rocky Johnson, was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, it's going to be an emotional night for the Hawaii family with that induction of Rock's grandmother, Leah Maivia. I know Rock was very emotional in his video that he broadcasted announcing her induction into the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure it'll be another emotional night for him to induct his late grandmother, who he very much loved, very, very much. If you watched The Rock's short-lived sitcom known as Young Rock that was on NBC, and you could actually still watch it on Peacock. Every episode of the short-lived show is on Peacock. You could tell that Rock really did love his grandmother. It came across on that show. I know it's a sitcom, it's acting, but Rock was very genuine in his depiction of his grandmother and the relationship that he and her had. So it's really, really nice to see his grandmother finally going into the WWE Hall of Fame where she belongs, as she was a very prominent and one of the most prominent female wrestling promoters in the history of professional wrestling. So congratulations to the Maivia family, to the Hawaii family, as they induct the late, great Leah Maivia into the WWE Hall of Fame this coming Friday. Next up on the Hall of Fame, it will be a fixture of in various NWA territories from the 1960s through the 1980s, recognized as having won championships across all of North America, and he was actually one of the first professional wrestlers that ever tried to put together a union to take care of the boys and girls of professional wrestling. I, of course, am talking about Claude Patterson, better known as Thunderbolt Patterson, one of the premier, legendary African-American professional wrestlers in the history of professional wrestling, especially during a time when you didn't see too many African-Americans wrestling at that time, especially in a lot of the NWA territories where a lot of the unfortunate times of segregation and Jim Crow were going on. This man was making a career traveling around the United States, being a premier professional wrestler. He will be inducted by Scott Spears. Let me see who Scott Spears is, because I'm not really sure who that is. Let me see if I can find who Scott Spears is. Oh, okay, here we go. I actually found a little bit about Scott Spears. He is actually a filmmaker, a journalist, and radio personality. Scott Spears will induct Thunderbolt Patterson into the Hall of Fame. I'm trying to see what he is, what else he is known for. Okay, here we go. So Thunderbolt Patterson himself has asked Scott Spears to induct him, and Spears touched on how much that means to him. And this is a quote from an article on postwrestling.com. "This is such an honor for me, having been friends with Thunderbolt for many years, and there is no one more deserving of this honor than him. For him to ask me to induct him is one of the great honors I have ever received, and I don't take that lightly. I have been a fan of pro wrestling over the years, and the WWE has been nothing but great during this process." Scott Spears is an Associated Press award-winning journalist and has interviewed the likes of Maya Angelou, Betty White, Larry King, Phil Donahue, and multiple political figures, and he will have the honor of inducting Thunderbolt Patterson into the 2024 class of the WWE Hall of Fame this year. So congratulations to Thunderbolt Patterson, a trailblazer in our great sport of professional wrestling, going to be inducted by a great friend of his, journalist Scott Spears. On the female side of the inductees, former one-time WWF Women's Champion, a 1994 Slammy Award winner, and I got all tied up there. 1994 Slammy Award winner for Most Devastating Maneuver, recognized as having won multiple women's championships in Japan, Mexico, and the United States. Former WWE Women's Champion Bull Nakano will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame by probably her greatest WWE rival, current WWE Hall of Famer, former WWE Women's Champion Alundra Blaze, a.k.a. Medusa, will be inducting her former rival Bull Nakano into the WWE Hall of Fame this coming Friday at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's going to be great to see Bull Nakano getting recognized for her contributions to the world of professional wrestling. And it makes only great sense that her best rival in her time during the WWE, Alundra Blaze, a.k.a. Medusa, is the one to induct her into the Hall of Fame. And we come to the headliner, guys, and it makes sense, especially where it is. It's Philly. It's the home of ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, hardcore wrestling in the city of brotherly love. That this man is the premier member of the Hall of Fame, the headliner of the Hall of Fame this year. He is a former manager and commentator for the American Wrestling Association and World Championship Wrestling, owner and operator of the former Extreme Championship Wrestling ECW promotion, which was founded in Philadelphia, of course. Former on-screen general manager of WWE SmackDown brand, former color commentator for Monday Night Raw, manager of greats such as Brock Lesnar, The Big Show, CM Punk, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ravishing Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, the current wise man to the tribal chief Roman Reigns, and the Bloodline, amongst others. I can only be talking about one man, and that man is, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Paul Heyman to the 2024 class of the WWE Hall of Fame. That's right, Paul Heyman will headline the Hall of Fame this year, and it was announced by Paul Heyman himself during Monday Night Raw that the Tribal Chief, the undisputed WWE Champion Roman Reigns, will be the man to induct him into the Hall of Fame this coming Friday. That was a little bit of a shock. I honestly thought it would have been CM Punk inducting him into the Hall of Fame. I thought Paul would have asked Punk to do it, but I guess it makes sense with their relationship, because Paul Heyman definitely has been a fixture in the Anoa'i family for many years. Back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s of WCW, during his time there, he actually was the manager to the team known as the Samoan SWAT team, which was the brothers of Samu and Fatu is better known to WWE fans as WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi, who is the father of the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Paul Heyman has been a fixture with the Anoa'i family. He knows the Wild Samoans, Afa and Sika being the father of Roman Reigns, and of course, being integral in the careers of a lot of other Samoan athletes. Currently, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, now The Rock. Paul Heyman has been a very great ally to the Anoa'i family over the years, and it makes sense that Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, will be the one to induct the madman from ECW, Paul Heyman, into the Hall of Fame. Again, right after WWE SmackDown goes off the air on Friday on Fox, you got to jump to Peacock if you want to watch the live inductions of the class of 2024. We're going to take a short little break, guys. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about NXT Stand and Deliver. And then we're going to get right into WrestleMania Saturday and WrestleMania Sunday. Stay tuned, guys.
Yo, what's going down? This is Spaced Out Sports with your host, J-Man, giving you all Houston sports straight from the source, brought to you Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. In this show, we're going to talk about everything Houston, through and through, and everything. We're going to talk about the surrounding areas. We're going to talk about local sports, everything in Texas in general, mainly Houston, but we're going to talk about everything in the sports world. I want to hear from y'all. Y'all definitely going to hear from me. We're going to go from anything all over, from football to MMA to everything. Let's have a good show. I'm looking forward to hearing from the city. Y'all make sure y'all just check me out every Wednesday right here at Spaced Out Sports, brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, IE Sports Radio fans. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again. Still here, live on Spreaker with the WrestleMania edition of the IE Wrestling Show. If you're just tuning in, guys, I went down the list and talked about the Hall of Fame class for WWE's 2024 class of the Hall of Fame. Paul Heyman, Muhammad Ali, the U.S. Express, Bull Nakano, Thunderbolt Patterson. Man, it's a big class of the Hall of Fame. Lia Maivia. It's going to be a nice emotional evening for wrestling fans and the wrestlers and wrestling families alike. I can't wait for that event. I always love the speeches that always take place during WrestleMania weekend, and I cannot wait to hear the speech that Paul Heyman has in store for the WWE Universe and everyone in attendance at the Wells Fargo Center. But man, get ready, because the Wells Fargo Center is not done showcasing the talents of the WWE, as they will showcase the talents of the future of the WWE this coming Saturday on the eve. It'll be definitely the eve of WrestleMania Saturday, because this has a special start time of 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon, live streaming on Peacock. It'll be NXT Stand and Deliver, the biggest Stand and Deliver in NXT history, hosted by the group known as the Meta-Four. Noam Dar, Ora Mensa, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson will be the hosts of the event. And this takes place the same day as WrestleMania Saturday. That's why it's taking place at such an early time on WrestleMania Saturday. The card has been finalized as of yesterday. I was actually watching NXT yesterday while I was at work, because I did a 12-hour shift yesterday, and NXT actually popped on the TV, so I was able to actually see all the stuff that went down in the lead-in, the go-home show for NXT to lead into NXT Stand and Deliver this coming Saturday afternoon. And these are the matches that are official, that will be taking place at NXT Stand and Deliver. Shawn Spears, the returning Shawn Spears, will be showcased in a one-on-one match on the pre-show against Joe Gacy. That should be a really good match. Shawn Spears and Joe Gacy going one-on-one on the pre-show for NXT Stand and Deliver. And then we get to the main card, guys. And these are the matches that have been announced. Made official by the NXT General Manager, Ava, a 6-woman tag team match. Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan will be taking on the team of JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame. That's going to be a hard-fought match between those 6 women. They're definitely going to want to showcase their skills for the NXT audience. It's definitely going to be a sold-out crowd at the Wells Fargo Center for NXT Stand and Deliver. And made official after winning the Triple Threat Tag Team Eliminator Tournament match, also involving the OC and the Latino World Order, the tag team known as Axiom and Nathan Frazier will challenge the NXT Tag Team Champions Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, the Wolf Dogs, for the NXT Tag Team titles. You got hard-hitting, no-nonsense, take no prisoner style from Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, and you got high-flying, never slowed down type wrestling skills of Axiom and Nathan Frazier. It's going to be a conflict of styles, but sometimes these type of matches are the ones that stand out the best when you have a conflict of styles. So I really can't wait to see how this NXT Tag Team title match goes down at NXT Stand and Deliver. In a grudge match rematch for the NXT Women's Championship, we got Lyra Valkyria defending her NXT Women's Champion against Roxanne Perez. Roxanne has definitely shifted her attitude in the last few months. She's definitely hit a peak where now she's showcasing her skills and her talents as a heel on the NXT roster, and I think so far so good. I'm enjoying this little heel run that Roxanne Perez is going on. And you got to remember, yes, she's been wrestling for a few years now, but she's very, very young. She's still in her early 20s. But she's been a champion wherever she's gone. She's a former Ring of Honor Women's Champion. She's a former NXT Women's Champion, already looking to see if she can win her second NXT Women's Championship. But she's got to go through Lyra Valkyria to get there. And these two women had a bit of a face-off on the Meta-Four talk show during NXT yesterday, and Roxanne Perez ended up getting slammed through a table. So we'll see what happens at NXT Stand and Deliver. It's a big. I gotta do this in Barrett. Let me see if I can do this in Wade Barrett's British accent. All right, it's gonna be three big meaty men slapping meat. Ooh, that hurt my throat a little bit. Wow. Yes, three big old men, big meaty men slapping meat. It's a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. Obafemi defends the NXT North American Championship against Josh Briggs and Dijak. These men, they're big, they're tall. If you listen to Wade Barrett, they're meaty. And they're going to have a big old clash and stuff. It's going to be three huge dudes going at it for the second richest prize in NXT, the North American Championship. The North American Championship is always viewed as the stepping stone to the NXT title. Many of the great NXT champions have all held the NXT North American Championship. Adam Cole, Carmelo Hayes, Keith Lee, who else? Wow. Those are three prominent former NXT champions that have all held the NXT North American title. So this will be a big, big match. I'm really looking forward to it. These three guys are going to really go at it for that NXT North American Championship. Then, for the richest prize in NXT, the NXT Championship, Ilya Dragunov defends the NXT title against the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. Will Tony D'Angelo have Ilya Dragunov sleeping with the fishes? Or is Ilya Dragunov going to ward off the Don of NXT and continue his reign at the top of the NXT mountain? We will find out at NXT Stand and Deliver. I think this is going to be the sleeper hit of the NXT Stand and Deliver show between these two guys, because I feel like it's definitely a conflict in styles, but I think these guys are going to have a definite hard-hitting match. I really can't wait to see Tony D'Angelo showcase his skills against Dragunov in a one-on-one setting. D'Angelo coming off in a successful tag team title run, two-time tag team title run with Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and now he's standing on his own, challenging for the top prize in NXT, the NXT Championship. And it was made official by Sports Illustrated last week after the match itself was made official. This is your main event for NXT Stand and Deliver, and I wouldn't have it any other way. They had a great video package that played last week on NXT that was just gave me goosebumps. The production was just fucking top notch. And then last night they had a one-on-one face-off that led to trading blows. This has got to be one of the most personal matches on the NXT card, probably an NXT period. You've seen great portrayals in professional wrestling history between guys that consider themselves brothers. You got Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. You got Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I'm starting to see a running theme here. You got Batista and Rey Mysterio. You got Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. Man, just Rey Mysterio just can't keep friends. And now I think this feud is going to be remembered amongst those as well. Maybe that's me talking out my ass. I don't know. I think they're going to have the match of the night for sure as it comes to NXT. It's going to be Carmelo Hayes going one-on-one with Trick Williams. That is your main event for NXT Stand and Deliver. I do not have I don't know. I can't pick a winner for this because I like them both. Carmelo Hayes is just too damn good as a heel, and Trick Williams is really coming to his own. His wrestling ability has gotten so much better over the year, and man, he is so popular with the NXT crowd. Hell, not just the NXT crowd, the WWE audience in general, they love Trick Williams. Whoop that trick! Whoop that trick! Will Trick Williams whoop Carmelo Hayes at NXT Stand and Deliver, or will Carmelo Hayes solidify his stance and show Trick Williams that he is him at NXT Stand and Deliver? That's coming to you, fans, live, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a special start time, live streaming only on Peacock, guys. That's going to be such a big show. And a nice little intro into the later evening's festivities when we hit. It's time to talk about it, guys. It's time to get into it. Let's get into it. Ooh, I'm so excited. Later on that evening, guys, it is the first of two nights WrestleMania Saturday comes to you live later that evening on Saturday, April 6th, live from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the house that the Philadelphia Eagles built, and now the WWE is coming into that house to tear it down. Man, this card is fucking stacked, guys. Both nights have been decided finally. They announced it on Monday Night Raw, which matches will be taking place on which night, and we're going to run down both nights right now. So here we go, guys. WrestleMania Saturday, April 6th. This is the official card for WrestleMania Saturday. WrestleMania Saturday will be as follows. For the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther, the reigning, defending, undisputed Intercontinental Champion, the Ring General Gunther, defends his Intercontinental Championship against the underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn. This is going to be a really great match. These two, it's impossible for these two to have a bad match. That's right, Larry. Let's go! Let's go! Woo! Oh my God, I got chills, man. I am so damn excited for WrestleMania. I can't sleep. I'm barely eating. I'm just waiting for WrestleMania's nights 1 and 2. Okay, I digress. I'm getting off track, but man, this past Monday Night on Raw, they had a Rocky style promo video package that aired showing Sami Zayn training with help from American Alpha. Wow, I'm taking it back. From the Alpha Academy's Chad Gable as his trainer. It definitely gave me Rocky Apollo Creed vibes. R.I.P. Carl Weathers. It was great. It was a great video package showing Chad Gable training Sami Zayn, trying to show him how to counteract a lot of Gunther's offense. This is going to be a great match, guys. I really cannot wait to see Sami Zayn showcased in a one-on-one setting to see if he could win his third Intercontinental Championship by defeating the man who no one has beaten in over 600 days. He is now the record-setting Intercontinental Champion. He has held that championship longer than the previous record holder of WWE Hall of Famer, the Honky Tonk Man. Gunther is definitely in the conversation for greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. He's definitely in that conversation. Can his reign continue past WrestleMania 40, or will Sami Zayn do the impossible, the unthinkable, and defeat the Ring General and take home that Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania Saturday? Made official as well for WrestleMania Saturday. It's the 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. The Judgment Day. Finn Balor and Damian Priest defend their tag team titles against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. The Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Michael Cole was very clear. He said this more than once, so we got to think about this. This means that I feel like they're finally going to separate the tag team titles again. It's about damn time, and we're going to have one set of champions for one show and another set of champions for another, because Michael Cole clearly said when explaining the rules for this ladder match that both sets of championships have to be taken down before the match is over. So a team could literally take down one set of titles and the match has to continue until the other set of tag team titles comes down. So I feel like this is WWE's way of separating the undisputed tag team titles to once again have one set of titles, the Raw titles, and another set of titles, the SmackDown tag team titles. A lot of great talent in this match. A lot of great young talent. A lot of talent that is making their WrestleMania debuts in this match. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Grayson Waller, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate all making their WrestleMania debut in this match. And I am so happy that DIY is going to be showcased in such a big light at WrestleMania for this match. I really couldn't say I have a winner. If we are going to have separate tag team champions between these teams, I would love to see DIY take the Raw tag team titles, and in case of SmackDown, I think you need a heel tag team, and it only makes sense. I hate to pick them because I would rather see New Cash Republic win the SmackDown tag team titles, but I feel like Theory and Waller would be the correct choice for the SmackDown tag team titles. In a 6-woman tag team match, this took place. This was made official right after SmackDown went off the air last Friday night. After the Storm came through SmackDown, the newest star that everyone was talking about after SmackDown went off the air last Friday night on SmackDown, the star that she was showcased as, she looked like a fucking $1,000,000. She definitely looked like she was worth more Monet than some other big time so-called big time athletes that made debuts recently. Yeah, you know that's who I made a shot about. If you're listening, yes, I was not trying to be subtle. That was a shot of you know who wrestles for you know where in those empty arenas. Yep, yeah. I'm not even going to give them a second thought, but yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, Jade Cargill finally made her television debut on WWE, signing an official SmackDown contract. She is officially a part of the SmackDown roster, and she showed up at the end of SmackDown to save Naomi and Bianca Belair from a Damage Control beatdown. SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis took it upon himself to go onto television, to go onto X and make this match official. 6-woman tag team match, Damage Control, Dakota Kai and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, will take on the team of Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill. Former AEW TBS champion, Jade Cargill is now going to be making her debut at WrestleMania after making her Royal Rumble debut earlier this year. Man, give her fucking flowers. She's going to be a big star. She already looks like $1 million fucking dollars after that debut last Friday night on SmackDown. I cannot wait to see how Jade Cargill turns out in her in her WrestleMania debut. Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio and its newest member, Dragon Lee, will challenge Santos Escobar and the Judgment Day's Dirty Dominic Mysterio in a tag team match. That's going to be a nice little tag team match that's been added to WrestleMania Saturday. I can't wait to see that. For the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley defends the Women's World title against Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch survived an Elimination Chamber match to get this opportunity to challenge Mommy for the Women's World title. In a Bloodline versus Bloodline match, brother versus brother, you have Owen Hart versus Bret Hart. You had Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy. And now at WrestleMania 40, we're getting Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso on WrestleMania Saturday. And the main event for WrestleMania Saturday, with implications for the main event for WrestleMania Sunday. If Rhodes and Rollins win, all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during the undisputed WWE Championship match on Night 2. But if The Rock and Roman Reigns win, the championship match on Night 2 will be held under Bloodline rules. The Bloodline, the final boss, The Rock, and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns go 2-on-2 against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. Probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, main event in the history of WrestleMania. At least in modern times, for sure. And now we come to WrestleMania Night 2, guys. For the WWE Women's Championship, the 2024 Royal Rumble winner Bayley challenges Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. This is now WrestleMania Sunday, April 7th, guys. Still live from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In a one-on-one match, LA Knight, goes one-on-one with the phenomenal AJ Styles. This is definitely going to be a sleeper hit for me. I can't wait for this. This was just announced over the weekend by SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis, a 6-man Philadelphia street fight. The Pride, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, with B-Fab in their corner, will take on the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, and the Authors of Pain, Occam and Razor with Scarlett and Paul Ellering in their corner. A Philadelphia street fight that only Philadelphia can hold in WrestleMania. I can't wait for this 6-man match. A triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. Logan Paul defends the United States Championship against both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Will Logan Paul's time at the United States top of the mountain be ended by either the Viper or the prize fighter? I can't wait to see this match. This will be a really good match, a triple threat between Owens, Paul, and Orton. We have, for the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth freaking Rollins defends the World Heavyweight title against Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath. He's been doing his best work ever since he went full heel. And man, Seth Rollins, his world title reign is definitely in jeopardy. I really feel like Drew McIntyre may walk out of Philly with that World Heavyweight title. And to put the icing on the cake, CM Punk, the best in the world, will be sitting ringside doing guest color commentary during this World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. And then, of course, guys, the match that I've been waiting for, the match that has to end only one way in my mind, the main event for WrestleMania Night 2, Sunday, April 7th, the Tribal Chief, the undisputed WWE Champion, Roman Reigns, defends the title against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He has to finish the story, guys. Cody Rhodes has to finish the story. He has to walk out of Philly with that WWE Championship in his hands. This can't wait to SummerSlam. This can't wait till next year. With everything that's been going on, the beatdowns, the insults, the constant diatribes from The Rock and Roman Reigns about he's not ready, he's not meant for this spot, he can't handle it. It has to all end this Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field when Cody Rhodes challenges Roman Reigns for that undisputed title. It has to end at WrestleMania. It has to end on Sunday, April 7th. Cody Rhodes has to walk out with the undisputed WWE Championship. I will not tolerate any other result, guys. Cody Rhodes is walking out with that title. And man, I can't wait. You can hear the excitement in my voice. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the IE Wrestling Show. It has been an absolute pleasure to present to you the WrestleMania edition of the IE Wrestling Show. WrestleMania weekend kicks off this Friday with the go-home show for SmackDown, leading into the Hall of Fame. We got NXT Stand and Deliver, and then we have WrestleMania Saturday and WrestleMania Sunday. And I will be back with you guys live next Wednesday to talk about WrestleMania in general. We got WrestleMania Edition Part 2 next Wednesday. Same SoCal Saint time, same SoCal Saint channel. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Thank you for all the love that you've shown, the support. Thank you to everyone that was in the chat room listening live, to Larry B, Marcus Losgray, Taryn Rodriguez, Jen B, to all of my faithful IE Sports Radio fans and family. Thank you. Guys, enjoy WrestleMania. That's fucking right, Larry. Let's go, Cody. Hell yeah. Guys, let's fucking go. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's be excited. Let's enjoy this coming weekend. Let's enjoy what it is for what it is. Great professional wrestling. Get together with your friends. Get together with your family. Grill some burgers. Grill some fajitas. Drink some cervezas. Have fun and enjoy WrestleMania this weekend, because I know I will. Everybody, God bless. Take care. I love y'all. Take care. I will see you guys next week right here on IE Sports Radio. Peace out, guys.